On May 31st of 2021, I got in my blue 2001 Dodge Caravan and drove from Jacksonville, Florida to Clearwater, Florida. And it was on this day, June 1st, that I'd spent my very first night in a van. I was very nervous. I remember being very nervous, not really wanting for anybody to know that I was sleeping in the van. I didn't know if it'd be okay to park. I'm actually in the parking lot that I slept in the very first night of van life. And but it turned out okay. And I had some issues. I had a trifold mattress. I couldn't unfold it all the way out, so I slept sitting up. And I slept kind of in a fetal position sitting up. And the first couple of weeks of van life were a challenge. I didn't have the little porta potty that I made that I have now, and so had some situations, and actually had to pee outside, and that was gross, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I remember my very first Sunday in Clearwater, and the idea came to me while I was sitting in church to create a type of toilet, which is just a container with a small trash bag and cat litter. So basically I made myself a composting toilet, and I still use it to this day, the very same one. Not the same bags. I change the bags every day. Anyway, so yeah, the first couple of weeks were a challenge, and then the previous van that I had before this one, it started breaking down on me. I had a few moments where I was just like, I would be in tears because I didn't want the van to break down, because if it broke down, I would literally be homeless. I am 3.5 hours away from my nearest relative, and so it was like, who am I gonna call to come and get me if I'm stranded someplace? I even had a situation where I got stranded. It was in Hawthorne, Florida, during my very first vacation, and I was going back to Jacksonville, and my van just completely died on me. That was the Caravan, the 2001 Caravan. It died on me. Somehow the oil completely leaked all the way out, and I had zero oil in my engine, and it was irreparable. So I got stranded in Hawthorne, Florida, and who came to get me? My Uncle Charles and my Aunt Sandra. And it's to my Uncle Charles I dedicate this video. So this particular uncle, Uncle Charles, I like to call him, or Chuck as I like to call him, he actually helped me to find the van that I now have. When my previous van broke down in Hawthorne, he and his bad feet drove to come and pick me up, he and my aunt. And during the whole week of my vacation, every day we would get up and look for another van. We went all over the place looking for, different dealerships and things. Finally, I saw the van on Craigslist, and it was just perfect. And I found it on a Thursday. The very next day, we got up and went to where that van was, and I paid for it. And by Monday, I was back in Clearwater like nothing ever happened. So I give thanks to my Uncle Charles for helping me find it, and for looking with me, for coming to get me, And that's some of the things that I'm gonna miss about him. He just recently passed away in the last couple of weeks, and that's why I wanted to dedicate this video to him. He was not just a regular uncle. He was actually more of a father to me. He saw a need in me that I did not know that I had, and that was a need for a father, and he stepped into that role and became a father to me. And that's not to put my own father down, because I love him. It's just, but that's just the way it was. My actual father was not really a part of my life until recently. And so my uncle, he stepped in and he became the father that I needed. And I honestly think that my life would have gone a completely different way if he hadn't. If I hadn't had a strong male figure in my life to kind of rein me in. And thank God, because the very best gift I've ever received is the gift of salvation through Jesus Christ. And it's because of that particular aunt and uncle taking me to church when I was 12 years old, I was able to hear the gospel. Not for the first time, but to hear it and to be convicted for the first time. And it would take me 2 years before I actually gave my life to Christ. But I'm so glad I did. I pinpoint that summer between 7th and 8th grade when I was 12 years old as having heard the gospel for the first time. It changed my life. And so I give thanks to God, but also I'm grateful for my uncle. And he was a great example of what a follower of Jesus should be. And he was a great example of what a father and husband should look like. And so because of that, I don't look for, the type of man who is not like that. I kind of lean towards a man who's more like him. And unfortunately, I haven't found him yet. But he's out there. I know he is. I don't know. But anyway, I guess I don't have anything else to say. I love that man. I love my Uncle Charles, and I'm gonna miss him. And if you like this video, I hope you hit that like button and subscribe. And do you have a relative in your life that's like that? Somebody that, just means a lot to you, and maybe they're still with you, maybe they're not, but somebody who just was such an important part of your life. Let me know in the comments. God bless you guys, and I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.